और आज हम करने जा रहे हैं एक ऐसी साजिश का खुलासा जो हिंदुस्तान के लिए बड़ा खतरा साबित हो सकता है। इस साजिश का नाम है लव जिहाद।
In recent times, we have increasingly witnessed in Indian media and political circles the mention of a bizarre phenomenon called love jihad. The creation of the love jihad frenzy has nothing to do with fact or religion. The concept first rose to national attention in India in 2009 with claims of widespread conversions in Kerala and Mangalore. Muslim organizations have been denying these allegations. Official investigations have never found any evidence of the activity. Furthermore, the top officials are divided on the very existence of such an activity. We also saw very recently how an alleged love jihad case took a complete U-turn.
मेरठ धर्म परिवर्तन मामले में एक नया मोड़ आ गया है। पीड़ित लड़की अपने बयान से पलट गई है। पीड़ित लड़की ने अपने घर वालों को ही अपने जान का खतरा बताया है। लड़की ने कहा कि घर वालों ने उससे कहा कि तूने ऐसा बयान क्यों दिया कि पैसे मिलने ही बंद हो गए। लड़की ने बताया कि 7 अगस्त को बीजेपी नेता और बीजेपी व्यापार प्रकोष्ठ के अध्यक्ष विनीत अग्रवाल पीड़िता से मिलने आए थे और उन्होंने 25,000 रुपए दिए थे और मदद का भी भरोसा दिया था।
This is in line with the global propaganda to defame Islam and Muslims, and also an agenda to fulfill the political benefits of few parties. Interestingly, we saw how love jihad became a tool of open political mobilization in Uttar Pradesh by-polls in September this year. Communal provocations using such innovative concepts is a divide and rule policy and a shock and awe mechanism which has been used before. The false concept that this hoax campaign claims is that Islam promotes forceful conversion. This is associated with the wrong interpretation of Islamic history, saying Islamic rulers forcefully converted non-Muslims to Islam in whichever land they conquered. The allegation is false, and the Muslim Ummah knows that Islam does not allow forceful conversion of non-Muslims to Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says in Quran that there is no compulsion in the deen. If Islam does not spread by force, then how did Islam spread over such a vast area of land, making Islam such a widely accepted faith? And surprisingly, why is Islam spreading like wildfire in the West? The truth is that Islam is a religion of thinking and proof. Islam is the only ideology which convinces the human mind in a rational way by answering the existential questions. Islam establishes rational proof that God exists and that He sent down messengers with His revelation as guidance to be followed by humanity until we all return to Him again. Thus, whoever gets convinced by this idea accepts Islam in totality. As for the matter of forceful conversions in the lands which Muslims conquered in the past, it is again a lie. The truth is that the Muslims implemented the complete Islamic system in whichever land they conquered. Those who did not accept Islam were left free to believe in whatever they wished to. There was no compulsion. In the Islamic system, there are separate rights for the non-Muslims who are protected and allowed to practice their own faith. Now, it's worth pondering, if Islam promotes forceful conversion, then why would the Islamic system provide separate rights for its non-Muslim citizens? History is evidence to the fact that living under the Islamic system, looking at its truth and justice, many non-Muslims converted to Islam on their own free will. A system that oppresses cannot rule for 1300 years because we see that those who oppress got washed away in a matter of time. Example, the Roman Empire, Hitler's dictatorship, communism, and now capitalism. It is also worthy to note that when the communist system and state collapsed, the idea and faith of communism was wiped out of people's minds. But even after the Islamic State was abolished in 1924, Islam still remains as the most widely accepted faith and ideology because it is the truth. This is the reason why Islam remains spreading rapidly and will prevail, inshallah. We as Muslims need to be sharp, clear and strong in the face of such false propaganda. We do not need to take the apologetic door because we are not at fault. We are victims of false propaganda against Islam and Muslims, and it is an obligation upon us and our right to strongly respond vocally and stand against any such kind of lies and propaganda.